doing here in Omaha, Nebraska, was to bring Black history to light.
Right.
Another young lady that I went to school with, named Deb Watts. Her actual name was Deborah Barbary. She was a relative of William of Till. Emmett Till, and the whole movie. And we highlighted him at North High School, as well as a whole bunch of other famous Blacks who were in the history books. And the public school system was open for letting us have what they called Black history for one day at that time. And as we were putting up our displays and what have you, we were all happy. And as the evening went on, we finally completed our mission, went home, and around 12 o'clock at night at my house, we received a phone call from the maintenance department at North High School telling us that someone had broken into North High School and destroyed our Black history display. And we came back to school the next day asking for information as to who did it, and they never ever found anyone who was responsible for it. But what we ascertained was that it was the maintenance crew that had destroyed it, and that's what kind of set off some of the so-called riots or disturbances in Omaha, Nebraska at that time. And then they had nerves to bring George Wallace into Omaha at the same time.
Okay.
And a lot of the students decided we were going to go down to the Civic Auditorium and protest the Nebraska Democratic Party for bringing him into the state of Nebraska. And that ended up in a total bloodbath.
Okay, so you brought up one interesting topic. Hey, how you doing? So she just played basketball. I remember you. So now you brought up an interesting topic because George Wallace was representing the Democratic Party, correct?
He was a Democratic. He was a Democratic governor of the state of Alabama, but he changed. He was still a Democrat, but he changed it to the American Party.
What?
Yes, but he was still running under a Democratic banner.
So at that time, were Black people Republicans at that time? We talk about 1968. I was 3.
No.
What were we voting then? Because I always say that my ancestors, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.
was heavy Democrats at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
And we always ascertained that at one time back in the 30s and 40s. Well, you're right. Blacks were
Republicans.
Yeah. But under the New Deal, because of the jobs and what have you that came forth under Roosevelt, Blacks switched to becoming Democrats.
Okay. So it happened
opportunities to rebuild America.
Also, it happened during the Roosevelt administration. Okay, all right. Well, we'll make sure we get that information right.
Absolutely.
We got some people, just some guests in the house.
Absolutely.
Just my man Dennis Womack for I didn't introduce him appropriately. But he is a star. You know how these stars are. They get their own noun, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes, and predicates to introduce himself. This brother been around, like I say, he's been in the Black Panther. Black Panther Party.
Absolutely.
He's still like a young man. How mature are you, sir?
Well, let's say it like this. I graduated from high school in 1970.
Wow, 1970.
Yeah.
I was 6 at that time. No, I was 5.
Well, I actually 71. So
okay, yeah, I was 6 then. Yeah. Okay, all right. So now you got a special event coming up next weekend. Give us a little synopsis about that, because we got some students in here from OPS. They look smart. They look real smart.
Absolutely.
And we like smart people around us.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I've been kind of working along with some Black businesses in the Omaha area, and as a former representative of the United States Department of Labor, working on several administrations where there was a comprehensive employment training agency, job training partnership, or workforce development.
Right.
I've noticed that in Nebraska, as far as the Black community, as it relates to labor issues, we're way behind. And when it comes to economics, in terms of wages and what have you, we're 50% of what whites are making in this area. And
so you say in this zip code,
in this zip code in particular. And what a lot of people fail to understand is that in 2014, Nebraska, specifically Omaha, came in number 2 in poverty, per capita. And unfortunately, our politicians did not let the community and or the taxpayers know that. But those are U.S. Department of Labor statistics and data. And oftentimes when we find that data that comes out like that, it seems that some of that information is kind of brushed under the carpet so that the populace, whether you white, black, Hispanic, Somali, or Sudanese now, they're unaware of what the real conditions are in the community.
Right. Now, these students are, I heard them outside surveying and making invisible history visible. Similar, that's the reason why you're here. It's kind of basically a direct correlation.
Absolutely.
And because they don't know about this history, because it's not being taught in the classroom.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. Well, and I understand that, because that was one of the things that I found out as a young man. I had an opportunity at the age of 14 to go and visit my family in Paris, California.
Okay.
And
now California got a Paris in it?
Well, yeah, it's
it's not in France?
It's in San Bernardino County. Yeah, it does. And at that time, there was a very famous was working with the World Wrestling Federation. His name was Bearcat Wright. He was a championship wrestler who was raised in South Omaha. He grew up with my parents.
Okay. Now what was his wrestling name though?
His name was Bearcat Wright.
Bearcat Wright. Okay. So we got a lot of. I remember Five Fingers of Death, Polsky. I mean, we got a lot of people that pro wrestlers that actually came from this area.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, you did. Vern Gagne.
Yeah, Vern Gagne. Yeah.
Well, all the kids used to follow him, and he as well knew my aunt who lived in Omaha at one time, and she had become a devout Muslim.
Okay.
And one day I was visiting, and she said, "I want to show you this book." And in this book, it had a bunch of Black people who were famous,
right?
From George Washington Carver on to L'Enfant, who built the plaza in Washington, D.C. He designed Washington, D.C. And I was just amazed by it. So I asked her, I said, "Well, let me have that book." I brought it back to Omaha.
Right. So where did you see this book? Where were you?
I was in California.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's how I actually became more involved with Black history.
Okay.
Was that. And so coming back here, I asked my principal at that time at North High School, I said, "Well, we want to talk about this here in school,
right.
Because I found this out." And he told me I was out of line.
Okay.
You can do that. So
by introducing a book that highlighted Black history.
Absolutely. Black history to the rest of the students there. And at that time, North High had a heavy influx of Black students because we all went to Horace Mann.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, Horace Mann had a 95% population of Black students.
Okay.
So I could tell you the very first day that we went to school, we all went to school together.
Right.
So we all walked up there. There's about 200 kids, Black kids at North, and they had never seen that many kids coming to school at one time.
Right.
And all the kids was looking out the window because the football field used to be
right
there at the parking lot.
Right in front of the parking lot, right.
And everybody was looking, and we was like, "Well, so are they welcoming us or what?"
Right. So what you see? A lot of white faces?
Absolutely. Okay. And
man. So I mean, so how was that first day of school?
Well, for me, I thought it was nice because they had been kind of courting me to come there and play football. And because I was pretty good in that.
Okay.
I hung out with Johnny and
Johnny Rogers.
Yeah, Johnny Rogers, and we all grew up playing football together. So they were courting me, and they kind of treated me good.
Okay.
And then I was a pretty good wrestler too, and baseball player. So they treated me good. But then when I started introducing the Black history issues, things kind of changed a little bit, you know, and it got kind of contentious up there.
Right. Well, since OPS is here, and they got students here, and they got so what are your papers? Oh, I'm having a slide. Come on around here.
Okay.
Who's the spokesperson? I'm gonna let her have the mic, and then take a seat. So we see how spontaneous we are here at 95.7 The Boss.
Working that.
And it's so important that you own your own platforms. You can do this. You can adapt and adjust.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna slide over. Let the young lady slide over some more. I'm gonna let you have this mic. Come on over, mademoiselle. I'm gonna get you in the camera. So I want to make sure we archive you. And so for you guys to see, everybody on the camera, we stream at YouTube and Facebook, so we can archive this also. Let me get my mic. Now, we got another star in the house now. I used to actually referee her playing. You know, she's played basketball. She's a great basketball player, and now she's taking her skills on another court, obviously. And she has some young people around here. I know she can school y'all, without a doubt. Me and her will take y'all in basketball, without a doubt. I don't care how young y'all are. It'll make no difference. We will beat y'all right now, 4-on-2. I know y'all quiet now. I know y'all want none. I know that's why y'all quiet. Y'all don't want none.
What are you, 9th graders or 10th graders?
9th grade. Going to the 9th?
Going to the 9th at North. At North.
At North, see?
At North.
So that's next generation.
Yeah,
so do y'all pay bills? Y'all pay bills? Oh man, I don't pay no bills.
You got a job there.
Yeah, I don't pay no bills. Yo, I'm glad 9th graders pay bills now. So introduce yourself, mademoiselle.
My name's Nicole Benson, and I am a proud OPS teacher.
Okay. Oh, so you're an OPS teacher now. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
All right. Well, I'm giving it back then.
Oh yeah.
You giving it back.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have a group of students here.
Yes, this is the Making Invisible's History Visible program, and we just been partnering with OPS to teach students history in Omaha.
Okay.
So the earlier part of Omaha, like 1800s, 1900s, getting them exposed to what used to be,
right,
and the remnants of what is now, and how history transfers from one generation to the next.
Right. So, why'd you come down 24th Street?
This year we're working on the Green Book stops.
Green Book stops?
Yes. So there are several Green Book stops on the street that we are going past.
Okay.
To just see, if there's a field there,
right,
we're taking notice of it. If there's a building like this building right here, we're taking notice of it.
Okay.
So that they know that what used to be still has a present effect on our community.
And so man, God working in non-mysterious ways, because we're just talking about that. And I asked her, what was at this space? What was in this space at this particular time? Because I remember when my dad would come back, because he was in the Air Force. And of course he liked to indulge in spirits.
Mm-hmm.
He liked to indulge in spirits.
Yeah.
And so I would bring him down to the bar right down here, and they had like orange seating, they had the classic seating, and they had the phone in each booth.
Mm-hmm.
The dial phones. I forget what bar that was.
Well, no, it was my cousin's record store that you're talking about, right on the corner of 24th.
Okay. Well, I
it was
remember
the Allen, part of the Allen Showcase.
Okay.
My cousin Paul, they owned the bar. His brother Al owned the record store.
Okay.
And used to go in there and you could listen to the records with the headphones and that kind of thing, and sit in there, and he would serve you some spirits at certain times.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. But that was part of the 24th Street exhibit. And then you had the Safeway store over there.
Yep. Safeway. Yep.
And there was a couple clothing stores right over here where we bought clothes. Then as you go further down, there were a couple grocery stores, some nightclubs and what have you. So absolutely,
Yep,
absolutely, yeah. And his daughter has a book out now called The Deuce. So that's something that you might want to get a hold to.
We're interviewing her on Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. Well, let's see, God be working today.
Patricia Allen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you guys just started this today, or I mean, as far as on the 24th Street crowd? I heard chatter outside.
Yes, this is our first tour
Okay.
getting out, and our first field trip getting out and seeing the sites physically.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, OPS. I mean, you guys got a group of what? Historians here or teachers?
Teachers,
all teachers.
for
That's cool.
OPS. They're predominantly North High School teachers.
Okay,
so,
shouts out to the Vikings. Well,
Yeah.
we like the Vikings. I'm a bear. I'm a bear. A bear eat Vikings, but yeah. I'm a Brian Bear.
Well, at Central Eagles, we soar over everybody.
Yeah. But we catch y'all. We snatch y'all out of here too.
Not in
We above
1960.
next level.
Yeah. No, shouts out to all OPS.
Yes.
The Metro School, Miller, Council Bluffs. I mean, we represent the whole Metro.
Yeah.
And we're proud of. I can tell everybody, greatness comes from our community.
Mm-hmm.
Greatness comes from our community, no matter where we are.
You know, William, one other thing I didn't tell you about is that when I worked for the United States Department of Labor, I did a lot of work for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And just before I retired, I was responsible for doing and gathering a lot of data that allowed Omaha Public Schools to build the new school out there on 156th and Ida, and put the other school over on 60th and L.
Okay.
So, I always took a lot of pride in telling people I was from Nebraska, although I've never felt that Nebraska has ever treated me like I should have been.
Right.
Even when I worked for the Commerce Department, and we came in number one in the nation in terms of getting people to complete the census forms.
Right.
And we were able to garner the blue vote for Obama when he was elected.
Right now. The electoral college vote, that was very important. Very important.
Absolutely.
So why is this what you guys doing so important? Because it's like you're being intentional. Because before, like this brother said, it wasn't being intentional. Now you're being intentional. What's the difference?
I think that it's probably just it's time. There's been a need to know, and for our students as the generations continue on and learn, the buildings that were here when I was a kid, they're still here, but they have a different meaning to them now.
Right.
So for kids to learn the invisible history, that's a powerful thing because it allows them to know, okay, there's a lineage before me that I need to be mindful of, so that I can build not only just myself, but my community as well.
Establishing a foundation for them, at least a starting point. It's up to them to take hold of that now and grow from that.
Yeah.
Right now.
Because a lot of them, they don't, I think it's very important for young people to start realizing there's a lot of greatness inside of them, and regardless of who tells them, doesn't matter who it is that tells them that they're not going to do anything. It's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right.
Right.
That you don't give someone power over yourself. You give yourself power and do what you're supposed to do. Like If God's calling you to do something, do it.
Right.
And don't make an excuse for it. Do what you're supposed to do, and don't let anyone don't ever give someone permission to hold you back from you.
Without doubt. Man, God is in the building. I got goosebumps. God is in the building.
Yes, he is.
Oh, without doubt. This happened for a reason, just to highlight and make sure that we develop a conduit of opportunities for the next generation. I talked about that. I never knew about Malcolm X until I went to college and came back and went and took a class, a Black History class at Metro Community College, and learned about, Malcolm X from here. I didn't know about this all my life, and I've been here. And so I'm gonna let these guys know that I am the greatest dunker, just in case y'all don't know. I am the greatest dunker. Michael Jordan said, "Mr. King, you are a leaper." Yeah, the Michael Jordan. So just in case y'all know that history, you know that history now. I met the greatest dunker. Everybody else get honorable mention.
Yeah, that's very, very invisible history, right?
Yeah, without doubt. So I do know Michael Jordan. I know President Obama. I grew up in the projects, so all that stuff. And like you said, I did not let anyone identify me.
Yeah.
And you cannot, especially coming from a mother that couldn't read and write, that actually picked cotton. And so I had an older mom. And then when you mentioned Emmett Till, my mama grew up in a town where Emmett Till, where they had the trial for Emmett Till.
Oh, wow.
So they know that Emmett Till's
I think he's around your age.
went to North High School too. She went to school with me. Wow. So if you don't know anything about Emmett Till and his death, you might want to kind of look at that in history, because one of his relatives went to North High School. And I grew up with her and still conversate with her all the time. She has the foundation up in Minnesota now. So, yeah, that's some history that you should learn.
Right out. So, man, I wish I was in 9th grade again. Man, I wish I can go back.
Is it possible if I could tell you this?
Whatever,
the location.
Okay. Heck yeah.
So this used to be, was it the
Sharp
building right
Inn? This building right here?
The Sharp Inn restaurant. And this is, or where Unique Cuts is. So downstairs. In 1938, Hayes and Enos restaurant.
Okay.
1948, Calvin Fraser and I believe his wife Viola, they had a restaurant here. And that was actually at 2853 Miami. Okay. That's where they live. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In 1954, Carter's Coffee Shop was owned by Alex Carter.
Okay.
And today is where you at right now.
Okay. So we're part of history.
Yeah.
All
Continued history.
But I'm glad you guys made us part of your history. The Green Book is what's significant. They actually call this the Chitlin Circuit.
Yes, indeed.
Where Black artists were able to demonstrate or manifest their God-given talents.
And we actually learned about that last year with the or was that 2 years ago? 2 years ago with the rail cars.
Okay.
And their stops. And
the rail cars
one at 24th and Lake.
I still think the tracks are out here under the street.
Underneath the street. So we've talked about that throughout the years, like what has been.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we need to talk to the mayor. Be the streetcar of 24th Street, since we got tracks already.
The tracks already.
We got tracks already, baby, over here. Y'all have to build nothing over there. Forget Farno, come down 24th Street. Hey, tear it all up. Hey.
You're speaking about entertainers, they don't know. I don't know if your kids have ever seen Cadillac Records. You ever seen that movie? The famous person in there, his name was Muddy Waters. His daughter lived right down here off of 24th and Manderson Street.
Well, I know you guys got to go. Give us a shout out. How can other students get involved with your program and whatever else?
Well, we are a part of Omaha Public Schools. This is our first year being a part of the Summer Bridge. We are right now located through North High School at King Center, King Science Center, but King Middle School. And next year we'll be looking for some more 8th graders who are going into 9th grade to be a part of it. We also have a site at Northwest.
Okay.
For those freshmen who are going into Northwest. So freshmen, 8th graders that are coming up right now, by I guess April, May, be looking for an opportunity to be a part of our program.
Okay,
next
cool.
Summer.
Well, good luck. If you guys ever want to come back, you're invited to come back and give us a highlight. We like to continue to brag off OPS. I'm a graduate OPS, and so we want to give any assistance that we can to make sure the next generation has it a little bit easier than we had.
Awesome. All right.
Thank
you for your time.
It was nice meeting y'all. Y'all want to come on camera, let people know y'all was doing something?
My nephew goes to North. His name is Davius Brown. He played basketball and football up there. Y'all probably need to get to know him.
It's nice meeting y'all, young
Call
man.
him Day.
So make sure y'all turn y'all down to 95.7 the balls on the dial.
Good day.
No problem. Take care.
You got that business handshake. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Let me see. Let me see. All right. Yeah, he got it. I already see he got it.
There you go.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Take care.
Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, take care.
So you know, see how you gotta be spontaneous,
Oh
y'all.
man, you doing good.
When you got greatness, you know, walking the street.
Absolutely.
You know, I wish I was in ninth grade again, man. Oh man, we got y'all. We got y'all. See how you see how the little dude.
He waited.
Yeah, he waited till he got out the door. Now he want to toss a smack.
Napkin, boy, I'm sweating like a.
Hold on a second.
Oh man needs napkins.
Hold on a second. Let me see. I know I got something somewhere around here. There we go.
Cool. Yeah, let me.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Oh no, man, that was good, man, William. That was spontaneous.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what this is all about.
And it's like God was in the building because we're just talking about it, and then now students came and showed up because they're trying to, you know, fulfill that void.
Let me say it like this: them guys at that other station wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right.
They wouldn't have.
No.
And one of them used to be my relative.
And they wouldn't do that.
I know
They wouldn't do that, man. But we got to make sure that we develop a conduits of opportunity for the next generation, and that's why you're doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. That's
because the work you can't retire on life.
Man, I ain't done that, William. I can't do that. I
Right.
got to keep going, man.
Right.
Sitting at home being retired, waiting on a check. You know, I know I got it coming,
Right.
but I still know there's more that I can do.
Period.
And just something like that right there just let me know even more so
Mm-hmm.
that my mission isn't over with yet.
Without a doubt. I mean, God let you know right
Absolutely.
there. I mean, we're just talking about, and then affirmation comes seconds after that. So
I'm telling you, I seen them over there. I was like, okay, so what are they doing?
right.
Because she was guiding them across the street and everything. I was like, look. I don't know if we on here.
Yeah, we on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's guiding them across the street, and
Right.
I said, well, okay. Nice, tall-looking black lady.
Yeah. Because
You know?
like you said, I refereed her playing ball, and she was a good ball player.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, got some kids,
Mhm.
some people from out of the community with her. I was
Mhm.
like, okay, interesting. But one of the topics that we won't be talking about today is how do we create consistency
Oh, you good?
and continuity in the Omaha public school system.
Right.
And one of the best ways I think that we can do that is to be able to provide support for the people who are working in the service areas within Omaha public schools, specifically those who work in the transportation part of it.
Right.
One of the things that I found in working, we interviewed one of the board members
Mhm.
because we're concerned about the transportation issues. And what I found was that OPS denies the drivers of those buses an opportunity to apply for unemployment insurance during the summer months when school's out.
Right. Okay.
So what they're doing is they're limiting their earning potential.
Mhm.
To me, that's discriminatory.
Right.
It's a discriminatory practice as it relates to economics.
Mhm.
Okay. And what they do is they pigeonhole and people into a certain salary category to where they still almost just above poverty.
Right. And it can't put forward subsidies any longer.
Absolutely. And they can't even get subsidies. Okay.
Right.
So to me, that's discriminatory, and even more so because they pay the unemployment insurance through their wages.
Mhm.
You have to pay that.
Right.
You know, so if you can't apply for it, why are you paying into it?
Right.
You know, so that's one of the things that I think that we're going to be also taking on from a community standpoint.
And this happening right now.
This is happening right now. It's happening right now.
Okay, cool. Because I know David Prince.
Okay.
He's head of the School Transportation Association.
Okay.
And I don't know if he have any influence or this on the legislative level that we got to handle this.
Well, it's probably on both levels.
Okay.
I think more so on the legislative level, and two, just so I'm clear with everybody. We are going to be inviting our legislators to this meeting that we're holding on the 24th.
Let's recap the meeting.
Okay.
When is it going to happen?
Okay, this meeting is going to be on June the 24th at 10 a.m. at Fort Street Church of Christ at 5922 Fort Street, Omaha.
And you mainly going to be talking about what during this meeting?
We're going to be talking about several things that have a impact on this community.
Okay. Strictly economics?
Oh, absolutely. Economics. Absolutely. And how this community has been economically strangled to only be able to perform on a consumer basis,
right,
and not have ownership of anything,
right.
So we need brick and mortar. We need Black businesses that can hire Black people down here,
right.
We need Black people in leadership positions in this community again.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are some organizations that portray themselves as Black, but they're not.
Okay.
And I don't mind naming them because they can't hurt me.
Right.
I'll tell you about NCAP. I also will tell you about Omaha Economic Development Corporation.
Okay.
It appears as though they're Black, but they're not. And if you go back and look at the history, there's probably only one person who has been there daily from a historical point from day one.
Who that, Miss Geneva?
No.
I know she's been there for a long time.
It's the controller.
Okay.
So, and I know there are Blacks in this community who are very capable of running these programs.
Oh, without doubt.
And I don't understand why money directed towards addressing issues of poverty has to go to organizations from a religious standpoint, whether they're Catholic Charities, Lutheran Services, to provide those services for us.
Right.
In this community, with all of the so-called Black churches that we got around here, whether they're Gojic or Baptist, why don't we have a Black a social services agency around here who can provide those services on the maximum level like those agencies are doing?
I agree with you.
I mean, so those are the kind of things that we're talking about, and also people are concerned about issues regarding legislative bill 1024. I believe that in many cases, the state and the legislatures down there have been misled. A lot of people may have been in agreement with the amount of money that could have come to this community, but they weren't in agreement with the money going to those agencies that were identified to receive those monies.
Right.
Okay.
And I was down at the governor's press conference a couple of weeks ago. All that monies have to go to the Department of Economic Development.
Absolutely.
So it's actually going back to square one.
Absolutely.
The Olson process didn't really have to happen. That was a brand new process.
That was $10 million wasted.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It had to go through that process because it still had to go through the Department of Economic Development. I received over $200,000 in 2021 through the CARES Act to build infrastructure in Macy, Nebraska on the Indian Reservation.
I do remember that, William.
And so I had to go through the Department of Economic Development, and everyone have to go through the Department of Economic Development, and it's discriminatory if you legislate a specific agency gets money. And so
identified.
Yeah.
Almost in line with what is being identified as what we've been having issues with from an educational level, identifying Black issues. Okay.
I do want to bring a guest in because she's we're talking about mainly what you had indicated that we need to move towards. Okay. I'm gonna let her come on, Saranda.
Absolutely, come on.
I'm gonna you touch this mic. You touch this mic.
Okay.
You mentioned, brother Dennis. You mentioned that during your meeting that you guys will be talking about the needs of establishing. Here you go, sorry.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of establishing brick and mortars.
Okay.
Now, this young lady, we play her music on air all the time. She's a fabulous artist. I think she's gonna be a star one day.
Great.
She's gonna be a star. She's a star now.
Thank you.
Y'all just don't see. But she's also a business lady, and she has a brick and mortar.
Okay.
What you had talked about.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Mademoiselle, and tell us a little bit about you, your business. Could you just open up, right?
I open tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be my grand opening. My name's Saranda Lee.
Mhm.
I am opening a women's fashion boutique right next door to William King, keeping it,
Okay.
I'm glad to be a part of the revitalization,
Yeah.
right?
Of North Omaha.
Of North Omaha. So I really wanted to jump on that opportunity. And with that, being an artist, a lot of young artists fail to realize they don't really make money off of streams.
Absolutely.
When you make it in the industry, it comes with the deals and the shows. That's where you're really making money.
Mhm.
And they venture off into other businesses.
Mhm.
So I thought, okay, I'm doing my music. What else can I do to generate and help my music
And to keep your own masters.
and keep my own masters
Yes.
and just elevate, something that I can make mine and that I own. And I was listening to the radio station on my way here, and they were just talking about like all the things that used to be here, and it's about leaving your legacy. I want to leave an imprint before I leave this life. I want to be remembered somewhere, somehow, something. And that's the most important thing. Is at the end of the day, people only remember like what you did.
Absolutely.
Memories.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm working on making my excited. It's been hard because I haven't had any investors, anything like that. It's just been coming out of my pocket, and it's so hard as a startup business because it's like you have to have $30K in your bank account before they'll even give you $1,000. So it's been tough, but I'm excited, and it makes me even more grateful and proud of myself because I did it myself.
You did it yourself. Absolutely. Well, that's one of the things that I think that you should really, I think that's something that you should hold to yourself. That you have until it's done. What I want to do is get involved in, but in reality, I know you're not telling them, oh, it's too late for you to, because you've already accomplished this yourself. But to me, I understand because I've been down that road before as well. Sometimes seeing is believing for some people.
And I always tell people it's like, even with religion, it's having faith and not sight. And it's the same thing with your dreams or your visions. Though you were meant to see that in your head because it was meant for you, not for everybody else.
Absolutely.
So regardless if anyone believes in you or not, I have it on me. Bet on yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If no one ain't gonna bet on me, I'm always gonna believe in myself.
Absolutely.
It ain't their job to believe in me, and that makes it really hard with anything you do. No one's gonna tell you, oh, you gotta get up and go do your inventory. You gotta get up, go to the studio. No one's gonna do that. They'll be like, oh yeah, this, that, but they're not. No one's gonna be pushing you. So it's really up to you. And I feel like that's where a lot of people kind of get discouraged or they don't finish is because it's so hard. Like you have to have it in you, not on you.
When I listen to you, it takes me back to when I lived in Oakland, California. I met a kid there one day, and I saw him. I said, it looked like he was selling tapes one day, and I said, I want to go in there and ask him what he's doing. So he said, yeah, mister, I sell these tapes. I rap and I do this and that. And I said, well, let me buy one of them from you. And I would see him often because I would always walk around this famous park in Oakland, California. And he would always see me. He say, hey, Nebraska, how you doing? I said, yeah, man, I listened to your tape last night. I kind of like that beat that you got. So he said, I'm going to be famous one day. And I knew he was going to be famous because I really enjoyed his music. And then one day I saw him. He said, man, I got my stuff out now. And I said, well, what you going to do? He said, man, I'm going to be too short.
Yeah. Oh, my.
He became famous. And I remember him very, vividly. And I remember when he came to Omaha, I had a chance to visit with him. And your your journey kind of seems similar to what he was doing.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't need no help. A lot of people don't believe in me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's tough because I feel like sometimes I think I'm very independent. One of my downfalls is I'm so independent, and I hate holding other people to expectations
right.
that, they might say they will help you out, but then you have this expectation in your head. And then when they don't follow through, it kind of gets under your skin. So I try to eliminate that. But at the end of the day, you need some type of support system and some type of help, especially with music. I've been doing like most of it
Right.
all myself, from booking shows, my videos,
Okay.
everything. And I know I'll be so much further if I had a
A
team,
manager.
especially as a woman artist. They
Yeah.
think women have it easy. I feel like it's harder because you have to have the looks, you have to sound good. And then the industry is full of men.
Well, and I think that there's added problems with that
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
a woman, because it has been a male
Yeah,
dominated.
because as a man, you
industry.
just got to sound good.
Well, or look
They
good,
don't-
or
it's
move
so-
good. Yeah.
And not to be rude, but so many ugly artists, guy artists out there,
Well-
and I'm not, everyone's beautiful in their own way. But what I mean is, like, as a woman, like, you have to be on 10 all the time. These guys can
Right.
have these locks that grow out. I'm
Right.
not attracted to them, but some people are. Hey, you know what I'm saying? They don't really have to care about their
Hygiene, all like
Yeah.
hygiene, their image.
Yeah.
They just, and half the time they're not even saying anything.
Well, well, so what about your boutique?
Oh, yes.
What are you going to do with that? What kind of fashions are you going to be bringing?
So it's a lot of fast fashion. So the younger women between like 19, 32. Eventually I'm going to incorporate some more stuff, but younger women, they buy quicker. They're
Mhm.
weird. They don't like to wear
Yeah.
things more than 3 times.
Mhm.
So just
Yeah.
something starting small. I got a bigger vision, but you just
Yeah.
got to start somewhere. So I open tomorrow.
Okay.
My grand opening is from 9 to 6 p.m.
Right.
because I want to get the traffic from the parade and stuff like that. And I feel like it's a great opportunity for me to promote and pass out flyers, because then
Yeah,
rather
I'll be working
than-
in that
yeah.
parade too. I'm working with that group. I'm hoping that it turns out well, and I'm hoping that people begin to realize the value in it. Whether it's Juneteenth, and
yeah,
it does have a historical
Mhm.
element to it, and that's why I participate
Yeah.
in it, not because of the people that's in it, but because of the historical
Yeah.
element to it. And I think that's something that we need to cherish. William was talking about Malcolm X. As a young man, my great uncle lived next door to one of Malcolm X's relatives. And as I knew of him, I was born 1 block away from his birth site. I was born on 35th and Emmett Street.
yeah,
He was born on 36th and Pinckney.
Yeah.
But as a young man, my grandparents lived on Seward. My great uncle lived on Seward Street too. I remember when Malcolm X got out of prison and came back to Omaha, he visited one of his relatives. I was outside playing that day with some other kids, and I seen him come out of this house, and he stood and waved at us kids. And when I looked at that man, I said, that's a great man right there. And I waved back at him. And as time went on, I found out who he really was. And I said, I should have ran up there and shook that man's hand when I seen him.
Mhm.
But a lot of kids have never had those kind of opportunities to see greatness in this community. And we've had a lot of great people come from here that we really don't talk about a lot. And of course, the major media, and they're not going to push us either.
Yeah.
We have to have our own outlets. And I kind of really like what William's doing here, because if we didn't have 95.7,
Yeah.
people wouldn't know anything
They wouldn't.
around here. And I think that's intentional because I've noticed over the years that we don't have meeting places to where the community can meet, like other communities.
They make it hard for us.
They make it hard for us to and to me, that's exactly what they did on the plantations.
Mm-hmm.
They made it hard for us to communicate. And that way they kept control of us. And that seems to be the same pattern that they're using here today.
Yeah.
So, I applaud you in terms of your strength and not giving up and just moving forward, because the system and design for you to succeed.
Definitely.
Right.
And I think a lot of us have to break these generational curses, and we're not surrounded by things or people. I don't want to say surrounded. We don't come from, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. They're scared to have a vision because no one has really had a big vision before. And so when they have these ideas, they have everyone saying, oh, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't tell me I can't do something you never done before.
Absolutely.
Right.
You never
right.
tried to do. And
Absolutely.
my saying is the only thing that beats an error. And the reason why I'm going to say error, because it's not a failure. It's
Absolutely.
error.
Absolutely.
And that's where a lot of people like hit that brick wall instead of going around it. They're like, let me turn around.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that beats an error is someone who doesn't try.
Who doesn't try.
Right down. I learned earlier from my mom. I had to read and write. I mean, I had to do all that. And then when I couldn't pronounce a word, my nickname was Man.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Boy, why am I sending you to school?"
Mm-hmm.
And then and that was like a challenge to me because my name ain't Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My mom was my first, so I had to go back to school, learn that word,
Mm-hmm.
and so I learned earlier that I might lose, but I will not fail.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
failure is not an option.
Absolutely.
I'm always going to compete. Okay, you got me today. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I learned today what not to do, so I can
And
perform
That's
better
all
tomorrow.
It is. It's an error.
Absolutely.
It's an error. You go back, correct, and then move
Mhm.
forward. Some people give up so easily.
Mhm.
And I think it's because like all of our lives, it's like work hard, do this hard, do this hard. When you're still working hard, you have to find that enjoyment
Right.
and that
Right.
reward.
Right.
And that's what I have to tell myself. Like I've been working. I was here till 1:00 last night, 1:00 the other night, and then I'm back this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that reward in it. I'm
Right.
like, if I do this little bit today, it's less I got to do tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And there was a point where I was working on this place because I had to do a lot of renovations, and I could have went somewhere where the rent was higher.
Well,
Everything's
I get that.
done, but I'm like, a Black man owns this business.
Mhm.
I don't know too much. I know a little bit, but I could have went down to Fairdale, but people who aren't Black and they're charging a lot for rent, you know what I'm saying? So I had to do a lot of work,
Mhm.
but
It's paying off,
it's paying off.
and you have that knowledge and skill set that you didn't have before.
Oh, yeah.
Of turning one place to where it didn't look
Mhm.
presentable. Now it looks
Mhm.
very presentable.
And I had so many people tell me, like, when I first went there, they're like, I don't know what you're going to do with this place. But when I went down to the DR last year,
Mhm.
they have smaller places than I have, and they was getting it in. They're
Mhm.
way less fortunate, and they don't make any excuses.
Well,
You said DR, you talking about Republican,
Dominican.
Yes,
Yeah.
like they had like little shacks. They
and they get their hustle on.
they getting
yeah.
their hustle on.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's all I had to tell myself. I said it don't matter about the place. It matters about what I turn it into and the person
Mhm.
doing it.
So how you doing your marketing strategy?
I do have, since I have my music platform,
Okay.
and then my neighbor William King,
Okay.
he always shows me love. Shout out
Mhm.
to 95.7 The Boss. And so things of that sort. So my music platform helps me out a lot, and
Right.
social media, because that's what a lot of people do. And then tomorrow I'll be out here earlier before I open, passing out
Oh,
flyers.
absolutely.
I have my sign up. I got to do the groundwork too. So
Absolutely.
I'll be other places sticking my stuff
Absolutely.
in their
Absolutely.
windows, and
Yeah.
so a lot of footwork. But
Very good.
Yeah, it's worth
As
it. We're doing a concert, and my man Reggie, I think we wore out at least one pair of shoes.
yeah,
And sometimes you got to put the work in. You got to put the
you
work
got
in.
to.
Mhm.
If you take one step, God has to take two.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So it's going to manifest. Sometimes we don't see it, and sometimes times get hard. But I want to let y'all know, man, that God is for real. Because the other day I was in my bed and I needed some cash, and I didn't know where I could get the cash from, especially when you got to depend on other people. And then I know I had some cash coming, but I know it's gonna come that day. And then I looked at my phone and said, "Oh, thank God the cash came." And then so that gave me one more day to get some more cash because I needed to get I needed to get like a bag, you know, and so people came through. They came through. And so my mama, I tell everybody, you get a yes today because of yesterday work.
Yeah.
You got to put in work yesterday in order to get paid today. And so I'm just letting you know all the yesterday that you put in is going to pay off today.
Absolutely.
And so I tell everybody, even when I was a salesperson, I said, and I started learning how to sell. I said, well, dang, if I leave and I was doing door to door, and leave 100 flyers, 200 flyers. Then I noticed, I left that last Wednesday, and I'm getting a call from last Wednesday.
Yep.
So I started getting called from yesterday work. And so I started understanding the mathematics that you got to put work in yesterday in order to manifest today.
Yeah. So it's so funny you say that because yesterday I was literally thinking, I'm like, so many people are like, oh, I'm doing this myself. No matter like what you believe in, if it's God, Allah, whatever, just a higher power. There's a higher being that's so much powerful than all of us. And I was like, so many people are like, oh, I do this myself. They don't see all the demons that God is fighting off around us, and he just makes a way. And I was just thinking about this other day because it's been so hard because I'm opening the store, and then July 1st I'm having my event, and like you said, I'm trying to figure out where to get this money from. And I believe like what I love how I work is I'm very intentional with my words. So like once I'm like get on air, I'm like, hey William, I got this idea, I have to do it because one thing I don't want to be is a liar because all I have is my word.
Right.
Absolutely.
All we have that we really own is our word. So if I say something, I got to follow it through. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like things have just been working out. I'm like, thank you. Like, I know you're working. I know you are.
Without doubt. Well,
definitely.
We'll be there tomorrow for sure. We'll be on the mic, talking smack, during the parade. We're going to be advocating that brothers and sisters support each other. And we call this day anyway, Black Friday. You know, the history actually of Black Friday, they used to sell slaves on Black Friday. But our ancestors made it to where this Black Friday we can support each other in commerce.
Absolutely.
We can support each other. We don't have to sell each other. We can buy from each other now.
Yes.
Our ancestors sacrificed so much for us, y'all. And so that's why we call it Black Friday, because if you're from the Black diaspora, that's our responsibility to support each other.
Absolutely.
And if you are neighbors, if you are neighbors, you're supposed to support us also, because Black people spend money all over this community every day. And we don't spend with people that look like us. We spend with our neighbors. We just want to just reciprocate.
Yeah.
You know, that's
well, we don't want to wear fair. We just want you to just do business.
Absolutely. That's the one thing that I want to be able to start addressing, and you're doing that as well. There's a lot of power in Black taxpayers, and we need to really be able to harness that to make a real stand, because like you said, we spend money all over, and sometimes we fail to spend with our own. And that's,
they have a hold on you,
and they begin to have a hold on us. And in this state, to me, it seems like they want to minimize our buying power, or not let us know what our buying power actually is, or how powerful our buying power actually is. Because when you start understanding economics, then I think you regain control of your community.
Without doubt.
Absolutely.
Now, you lived at a time when it was segregation. Now it's desegregation. Seemed like when we were segregated, we actually support each other more.
Absolutely, we did. And because I think we understood what we were up against then. Today, I do believe there's still desegregation, because if you or segregation, if you want to say, I'd say that, but it's hidden, it's veiled.
Right. Kind of like invisible history.
Yeah, because when you look at it, like we were talking about, you look at just the history of North Omaha. See, when there was segregation, Blacks ran all the programs in this community.
Right.
They said desegregation. Now we got whites running programs for blacks.
Before we was running our own programs.
Before we was running our own programs.
I think we can get to that.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think it's because they're segregating us. Like now they like racism still exists.
Oh, it still exists.
You know,
Oh,
they
it's
still
heavy.
we're openly slaves, I should say. You know,
Right.
they find out other ways to enslave us, and
Mhm.
I think that's really what it is. Instead of us being against them, they put us against each other. Like, oh, we don't have to worry about them now. They'll do our work for us. You know, they'll knock each other off.
We were touching on
Yeah.
that just a minute ago
Yeah.
when we were outside.
Yeah.
They've done that through what I would consider our health and human services.
Mhm.
They've isolated black men and black women from each other here, and done it from an economic standpoint. Well, we can give you that, but you can't get a check. You know, if you want to get a check, you got to go find a way to make yourself disabled
Yeah.
in this community.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of men have done that, you know. So you actually put yourself in a particular category because then you're being controlled, and you're not able to do a lot of things. One of the that I've seen here in Omaha since I've been back here is that there's a attempt to control us to where they limit our growth potential. And that's happened a lot here. I've noticed that when blacks that I know who have lived in houses in the North Omaha area, they moved out, other people move in, and the prices of those houses increase. And I'll even talk about the senior citizen community here. If they can't afford the property taxes
Mhm.
in order to stay in their homes anymore.
And they just raised them.
So yeah, they raised them again, and then they've forced our senior citizens who have contributed to this community a lot to have to go into subsidized senior living
yeah.
situations to where they still have control of
Yeah.
us, and it's just to me unfair. Because we don't run those programs.
Yeah.
Now, other people have actually benefited from the poverty in North Omaha.
Yeah, I call them poverty pimps.
They are poverty pimps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they making a lot of money on this.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are concerned about Legislative Bill 1024, because
Right.
some of those people that are concerned view some of those programs that are asking for some of that money as poverty pimps.
Mhm.
You know, I'll give you.
So it's important that everybody apply for that money. So young ladies like us, or young men like ourselves, can take advantage of that money.
Absolutely, because you have the foundation.
Mhm.
From what I understand, it means, and
Mhm.
I always say, William, that the first term on that bill says it is to provide financial support for underserved communities.
Yeah.
Right.
But they always find a way for you not to qualify.
Well, you know,
A lot of times.
I tell you, when I was working in federal level, on high level, and I think you kind of followed along with this when you went to work for a Commerce Department, I used to have people who were politically engaged tell me, you know, Womack, yeah, that money might be designated to go to North Omaha, but it ain't gonna get there.
They're gonna be diverted.
It's gonna be diverted.
Yeah.
Politician is your top crooks, without a doubt. There is money for you. It's called the Nebraska Enterprise Fund.
Mhm.
They help out small businesses like yourself. They'll nurture you. They'll guide you. They will give you instructions in order to build your business capacity.
Yeah.
They'll train you. Then after that, they'll make sure that they raise your credit score so you can qualify for at least $50,000
Yeah.
at the minimum. And so I'll give you her number. Her name is BC Clark.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Because that's another thing we don't learn. Like,
Yeah, we got to pass on information. God said we're not destroyed because of money. We're destroyed because of lack of knowledge.
it's a story in the Bible, I think, but I heard it the other day. It was like who is it? I can't remember the name, but I think you'll catch on when I say it. The guy asked for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Mhm.
That's I think God asked him what did he want. I think it was Solomon's someone's son. He trained his son, and then his son, God asked him what he wanted. He said wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Mhm.
And so since he asked him for just those three things, not money, I want this and that,
Mhm.
he blessed him with everything because that's the three things we need
Mhm.
is wisdom,
Absolutely.
knowledge, and
Absolutely.
understanding.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
without doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we got to get out here. Saran, give us a recap. Your grand opening tomorrow,
Yes.
where you located, and how can we participate?
Yes, my grand opening is at Doll's House Fashion. We are located at 2310 North 24th Street, Suite 2. You'll see a big old sign. If you can't find it and you know where William King is, I am right next door to William King and the barbershop straight across from Idol Vital. Show some love to them. Also, the other vendors that will be outside. I will have Sherman down here. He'll be selling some of his products and some other vendors, always got to show love and
Mhm.
put other people in the light too. Can't hog it all.
Absolutely.
We got my man Sherman online right now. He said, what's the OG name? What's your OG name?
What, Saranda Lee?
No, what's your name, brother? Introduce yourself again, Dennis.
My name is Dennis Womack.
Yeah, you got some of the young brothers.
Sherman Wells.
Yeah, appreciate your knowledge. He said,
Yes.
keep it happening. Appreciate
He'll be down here tomorrow as well. So 2310
Mhm.
North 24th Street, Suite 2. You'll see us outside. We'll have Doja out here.
Doja Wings, okay.
Yes. So come down, come food, shop with, support your local businesses. And
Mhm.
I'm just so excited because there's so much stuff happening this weekend.
Without doubt, a lot of stuff happening, y'all. Man, it's Juneteenth. We are free. Oh yeah, free. Before we get out of here, any shots out, anyone thank, etc., etc.
Just everyone that supports me, especially you, William King, has been holding it down for years now, whether business that is, music. Shout out to everybody out there doing the thing. It's hard. So if you got up today, shout out to you. If you didn't, still shout out to you, but take it, run with it, and that's about it.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
And since you are an elder, you can
Okay. Well, yeah. Once again, hoping that you all can attend the meeting at Fort Street Church of Christ at 5922 Fort Street on June the 24th, 2023 at 10 o'clock. We're going to be talking about Black-owned businesses. Going to be talking about Legislative Bill 1024, jobs in this community that pay a living wage. We want to talk about what the real state of North Omaha is, and in respect to what others are saying, what North Omaha is about. I see North Omaha as a potentially vital community, and being a lifelong resident and a native Nebraskan, I take a lot of pride in telling people that I'm from the North Side. So I'm hoping that everybody else can start doing the same, taking a lot of pride in the North Side.
Without doubt, baby. Greatness come from here. Oh yeah, without doubt. We're in the most historic area of the city, 24th and Lake. Again, we want to, shouts out to our ancestors, and then also shouts out to the Omaha tribe.
Absolutely.
For allowing us to, as my man Paul would say, to hang out on their land.
Absolutely.
Without doubt. Omaha, the birds of bless. Keep bossing with us. Make sure you guys get your tickets. In Vogue this weekend for Father's Day. Fathers, ladies. I'm gonna get on y'all ladies. I got to spank y'all ladies. I gotta spank y'all softly though. I'm gonna spank you softly. Now, how can ghosts and goblins get more love than fathers? I know y'all birthed all the babies, and y'all loved us. We was born. They loved all the boys.
Absolutely.
But as we grew to men, I don't know. Ghosts and goblins moved in front of us. What I mean? The babies ain't nothing like a baby.
Mm-mm.
A baby boy, he's so cute,
Absolutely.
But as he grow, ghosts and goblins get more love than fathers, y'all. Now I'm making fun of it. I'm being sarcastic, but it does hurt you, ladies.
You ever got any flowers?
Nah,
See, ladies, go buy that man some flowers. A lot of men never give them their flowers while they here.
Yeah, why we die earlier than everyone else. If you live in certain zip code 68111, 68113, 131, 68104, what's the other one? 68110. If you live in these zip codes, you die earlier than any other man in this community. So, ladies, this is a reflection of y'all, ladies. I'm not one to gossip. Y'all ain't hear it over here. But this is a reflection of how ladies view men. If ghosts and goblins get more love than Father's Day, who's that? But Mother's Day, you know where Mother's Day rank? By Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we love the women. We love the women. Now some men, y'all need men relationships. Y'all making it bad for all of us. Go get some help if you need some help for real. If it's domestic violence, go get help, y'all. My last job, I worked for the Women's Center for Advancement. And we do things here on purpose because women get abused, and that trickles down to our children.
Absolutely.
We report crime over here. I had to stop a brother from raping a woman down here. I do this for real. Ain't no chumps over here. We don't allow that around here. And so we got to make sure that we step up to those men that's doing it to our women. Absolutely. And so we could continue to support our sisters as they raise their families.
Yeah.
Because it's not their fault that it was legislated, brother.
Absolutely.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
And now they're being attacked because they lead in these family households and they can't afford the rent because of the high inflation. And so, men, we got to come back. And so for this Father's Day, let's make it all year. Let's forgive each other this weekend, y'all. Men try to men relationship, and ladies, just listen. I know y'all good with the adjectives in the verb. I know y'all doing that, but we just want y'all just listen. I gave us 2 ears to listen.
2 years.
Give me a chance.
We try to heal this. We try to heal this community, y'all.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, that's important, William, because that's one of the things that I think is also holding North Omaha back is that we seem to be at each other's throat out around here.
Right.
And I don't get that, how I could be mad at somebody who might be in the same position I'm in, don't have no more than I do.
Right.
I don't know why I should be mad at him. We should be pull forces together so we can both get more. All collective intelligence, absolutely.
And then collective.
Absolutely. Well, that's probably the narrative in the discussion from now on, how we do that.
It's a crab in a bucket mentality, but imagine if all lock claws and just swung each other over. So push you back on it.
Okay, and then Miss Lewis said that Vivian Strong street naming is today. So we want to make sure that we support Vivian Strong. She was a young lady that got shot by the police back in the 60s.
Von Chapman.
That started
I see Von. I hear you.
Von Chapman, what's up? Listen, I don't know how you come back on this because we need to have some of the elders, to chime in because it's so important that that elders do not retire. That's why I asked, how can you retire on life? You have a library of knowledge. We got elders around here that's retired teachers. Our children, our boys are failing.
I know.
Our girls failing. Y'all can come back and teach something.
Man,
volunteer to do something.
Von Chapman sent me a thing the other day, and I know he's got this right. Our kids' GPAs in Omaha Public School System are worse than the GPAs in the Deep South.
Wow.
Where they're using secondhand books and discarded books from white kids, white schools. Our kids are failing here in Omaha, Nebraska. I've noticed that too.
I went to Catholic school, kindergarten through 8th grade. The books I've been learning in those schools, I already knew them when I got to Central, and then they don't give kids enough. You have to process all these things in so many hours in different subjects. That's why I feel like they really don't care. It's like, here, take this. We're going to give you a test. And if you fail, you just fail. You're not really learning nothing. A lot of kids are hands-on and they don't have that anymore.
That's why they closed Tech High School.
They're just pushing kids through school.
Yeah. So we got, and that's why this bill that everybody's protesting, that even OPS is protesting, where the governor has allowed parents
Mhm.
to take that monies, and you can go take your kid to a private school. I took my son to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
He went to St. Richard's before it closed, and then he went to Jesuit, all
Mhm.
I was
boys
at
school.
Blessed Sacrament, and then they
Yeah.
closed it. And see, they're doing that too because
Mhm.
those schools, those private schools that actually help,
Mhm.
you know, the half the community that can't afford it, they closed all those down
Yeah,
for a
but-
reason.
Well, the Catholic, and we talked about that earlier,
Mhm.
the Koji and the Baptists, why they're not doing it, but the Catholics have sponsored Black children
Mhm.
to go to their schools
Mhm.
from Creighton Prep to
Mhm.
Jesuit.
Mhm.
And if you meet a circle economic Catholic parishioners, the Catholic religion will send your children to school.
Mhm.
They'll pay it.
Mhm.
I don't know why Baptists and the Koji ain't doing it. I don't know why we're not doing it collectively. Why don't we have our own schools?
Well,
And with this bill, we had the potential to do that now. And I don't know why Black people always want to follow someone else and look at the total picture. Okay, if my kid got $7,000, your kid got $7,000, my kid got $7,000 coming from the. We can build our own school. Now we put that money into their books.
absolutely.
Most of them already qualified for free lunch.
Absolutely.
We got the expertise around here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know what? When I went to Central, like when it came to history class and stuff like that, the only time I learned Black history was in Black history class. But when I'm in social studies, I mean, regular history is just white people.
Mhm.
And you look at what's going on in Florida, you want to erase the past. And I'm thinking, how many times have they erased the past before?
All the time.
Mhm.
There's nothing new under the sun. Every time they conquer someone, they destroy their
Mhm.
literature.
Mhm.
That's why we speak English.
Yeah.
We don't know our true tongue.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's done on purpose. But since we have that wisdom, that
Mhm.
knowledge now, we should not. I believe we're in the Stockholm syndrome, and that what I mean by that is when someone kidnap you, you take on their traits, similar to the
Mhm.
Patty Hearst.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Similar to Patty Hearst, if you guys read about that, we've
Mhm.
been kidnapped, and now
You
we're
love your abuser.
yeah,
you take-
you take on there, and that's what we're doing. I'm challenging everyone to come out and not practice or defend that system,
Mhm.
because a lot of us defend that system. Oh,
Absolutely.
I made it. Well, I don't
Absolutely.
care about nobody else,
Mhm.
even
Well-
though they still a Negro, because when someone else come around, you still a Negro.
I don't
Yeah.
even tell you.
You know what I mean? So you might be accepted amongst these whites,
Yeah.
but it might be another someone else.
They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, y'all, the only way we're gonna manifest this, we gotta educate our own. Quit whining and complaining that they don't want to educate us. That sounds like we
Mhm.
back in slavery day again.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, that's
It's
it's a cop out and an excuse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
it's so
for-
funny you
yeah.
said that. It sounds silly, like, please educate me, even though I know you're lying to me about everything.
Right, yeah.
Like you're twisting the history around.
Right. So let's not continue to reinforce that system. Let's not follow everyone else. Let's figure out what's going to be beneficial to our community.
Absolutely.
This bill that the governor's passing, I think it should be passed. $7,000 come to each family. You can decide where you want to send your children
Mhm.
to a private school, to a public school. You make that choice, and that's where the Constitution goes back to. We the people.
Freedom of
Omaha,
choice.
without a doubt. Omaha, we got to get out of here. My camera went off, but Sharanda, give us a update and what's happening tomorrow, and then my brother Womack could give us what's happening next week.
Yes, Dollhouse Fashion's grand opening is tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The parade starts at 10. So you want to get down here a little bit early because parking will be hard. The address is 2310 North 24th Street, Suite 2.
And come to the community meeting on June the 24th at 10 o'clock at Fort Street Church of Christ at 5922 Fort Street, Omaha, where you can voice your concerns about economic development, legislative bill 1024, jobs that pay a livable wage, and police community relations. Hope to see you there.
Without come out, y'all. I want to thank all my sponsors for coming through. I didn't think we were gonna be able to make it, but we made it. God is on our side. We got Invo coming this Sunday. Be purposeful and celebrating fatherhood this Sunday, y'all. Also, the parade is tomorrow. It's going down around 10 a.m. here on 24th Street. So come down, fellowship. Bring your family. Take some great family memories, y'all. Without a doubt, y'all. We're gonna be there I hope you'll be there also.
Thank you, William.
All right.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Boss with us.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Get ready for the Fleet DJs, the Boss.
Access to healthcare coverage is a human right. And for folks enrolled in Medicaid, we need to act now to protect that coverage. This year, Medicaid is requiring re-enrollment, even if you haven't had to do it in the past. They're calling it the unwind and plan for thousands of Nebraskans to lose Medicaid. But you can help stay covered by taking a few steps. First, contact Medicaid to update your current contact information. Second, watch